This is the plaintiff, Joy McFarland. She says the defendant is her ex and she loaned him money, which he won't pay back now that they've split up. The guy also stole a lot of her household items. She can't get him to pay her back, and she has a big surprise for him in court today and can't wait to see the look on his face when it comes out. She's suing for $2,273.85, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Terrell Moody. He says the plaintiff is a big liar because he never stole a thing from her. She never loaned him any money either. She's just mad he won't be with her anymore and is suing him out of spite for all this made-up stuff. That's right, he owes this lady nothing. She's the one who owes him. He's accused of letting his lover down. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $800 for a TV she stole from him and a broken door.
All parties, please raise your right hand. The People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Minion is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Ms. McFarland, you have been dating, or you had been dating Mr. Moody for how long?
Since May. I don't know. When did it March? Yeah, since.
Oh, really?
March,
Not
May.
very long. Just during COVID.
No.
You met him and
Yeah.
start dating him just during the pandemic. That's great. All right, and you're in court today because during the course of that time, you, according to you, loaned him a bunch of money and he won't pay you back. Talk to me and tell me, what is your story?
Well, I met him on a Facebook dating app. He approached me and said he wanted to get to know me, so we started talking on the phone, and we met up. And we liked each other, so we was talking. And maybe a week after, or maybe 2 weeks after that, he had some car trouble. And he asked me could he borrow the money to get his car fixed. And we had been talking, and I was liking him, and I felt like, okay, I can help him, so I'm going to go ahead on and do it. And I said, but make sure you pay my money back, because if you don't, I'll take you to court. And that's what happened.
Except for that's not what happened. What happened is, according to you and according to the text, he would hit you up for money and you would send it to him.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
It happened. A lot.
Yeah.
It continues.
A lot. What's that about, Mr. Moody? Because you could?
That's not true.
What's not
offered
true?
me that money.
Oh, you were never asking for it?
No, I was like, my car down. So, I'll give you some money for it. I mean, I ain't say no.
You didn't say no. In fact, let's look at your texts. You didn't say no. Cash at me 20, baby, or 10.
She never did send it.
Cash at me $5 more. Well, she must have sent something because you put the word mo. All right. Then a couple days later, send me 100, please. And then a couple days later, send me 80. And then the next day, send me 100. And she says, I'm with a credit counselor. No, I can't. Yes, you can. Well, 60. And then a couple days later, cash at me 15. What did you get your son for your birthday? He want you to send him some money. That's what you were getting your son for your birthday. You were getting a woman to send your son some money. Okay. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Moody. How long were you dating Ms. McFarland? Because I want to know how long it took for her to become your ATM.
I don't think we were dating. We were just really talking.
I'm sorry. I read your text. You were sexually involved with her. I don't know who you were afraid of who's going to hear this, but
dating.
Okay, so you weren't dating. You were just having sex.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So you were just using her for the booty call and the cash. Okay.
She offered it to me.
The booty call or the cash?
Both.
Okay.
She really was giving me money to have sex with her.
Welcome back to the People's Court. I'm Harvey Levin. The plaintiff claims that she loaned the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, tons of cash. And now that he broke up with her, he ain't paying her back. But the defendant says she's just mad he left her and she owes nothing. Let's listen.
You look really shocked, Ms. McFarland, but let me ask you a question. It's obvious that you're pouring money in his direct. It's almost like you're a prostitute. I don't know why you're nodding, but it's pretty obvious that you're trying to buy him. Okay, so let me ask you that. Yeah, and you were letting her, huh?
Who would turn some money down?
People with some dignity and self-respect and who aren't a jerk. You understand? Because you know that she likes you and she's a nice person. So you don't have to take advantage of every opportunity that presents itself to you. Now, let me ask you, Ms. McFarland, what the hell are you thinking? Because you have a lawsuit against him, not just for every time you gave him money, but also for a security deposit on a new apartment and your first month's rent. Explain that.
Because all the money I gave him, I was behind on my rent and I had to leave.
Okay, whose fault is that, though? Is that his fault or your fault?
He promised me he was going to pay me back or I would have never gave him that money. I was not trying to buy him. I would never, ever.
Let me just tell you something. But you do, because it's humiliating. You cash app the guy, and then instead of waiting to see if he ever pays that back, you cash app him again the next day. You cash app him. It's a one-way street. When were you going to realize that you were getting used? Because everybody else within the sound of my voice knows that you were getting used.
He was at my house. He was with me. I thought we was friends, and he was gonna eventually pay me back. And I thought he was going through a lot. So he got a little setback. Okay, I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna go ahead on and help him out. He gonna be all right. He kept on telling me, baby, I promise you, when I get this job, I'm finna make $2,200 a week. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna spoil you. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna take care of you. I was like, okay. I'm gonna get it back.
Talk like
that. Get it back.
Why would you believe that? You don't talk like that? Hold on. You need a better job so you can have a real woman like me. Your answer: oh God, I'm getting my team lead job back in Marion before I did all that shooting in 2017. What shooting?
I don't know.
Did you serve time for a shooting?
It was a misunderstood.
A misunderstood shooting? A misunderstanding with bullets?
Yeah.
Before I did all that shooting in 2017, I bringing home $2,200 every 3 weeks. I lost all that. Where is this about he's gonna, see, he is, I mean, I don't understand you. Like, I'm trying to figure out why you would sit there and constantly give this, because I ain't seeing it, all that money when he is not providing anything for you that you couldn't get anywhere else. You understand? I mean, I don't know what magic he's got, but it's kind of nuts. And, you know, you talk once or twice about getting paid back, but it's basically when you're not getting what you want from him. You've got a counterclaim against her, Mr. Moody, because according to you, she broke into your house.
So she broke in my house, took my TV, kicked my door down.
Kicked it down. Do you have any pictures of this?
I have a picture of where she kicked the door down and everything.
Did you kick his door down?
No.
Oh, there's a TV. What do you mean she stole your TV? There's a broken TV.
She took my other TV.
Do you have any evidence that she did this?
No.
All right, Ms. McFarland, you know, your life has gotten very complicated over a guy you met a few months ago. But how do you plan to go forward, and what are your plans now? How are you going to move from this?
I have no idea, Your Honor. I'm still in shock about everything. Like, I didn't know that. I feel like he robbed me. He just didn't use a gun. And it's really scary that somebody I trusted and slept with and trusted into my home would do something like this to me.
Do you two have anything to do with each other now?
No.
Is there something you want to say to him?
Well, I'm pregnant, very pregnant, and I'm not having an abortion.
That wasn't what I was expecting you to say. Has she mentioned this to you, Mr. Moody? She hasn't told you that?
Because she's telling a story.
Are you telling a story, or are you telling the truth, Ms. McFarland?
I have no reason to lie.
Yeah.
Do you have any proof?
I mean, yeah, I got proof.
Yeah, what
I can show you my stomach.
You fat.
Your mama fat.
Okay, all right. Sit down, Ms. McFarland. Sit down a second. Ms. McFarland, was there any other proof you wanted to offer up?
Yeah, I did send her a picture of the pregnancy test.
Did you send this to my staff?
Yes.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
No, it looked fake.
No, it looks actually pretty real. But it's either hers or it isn't. I don't know. Time will tell, though, won't it? Time is going to tell. what this is. And I do see, because I read all those texts, that there are times when she threatened you and said to you, if I'm pregnant and it's a boy, that is going to end up on your porch. And if it's a girl, you're going to be paying, and blah, blah, blah. And so I understand that she throws this as a threat, but that could be very real. So you better start thinking. Ms. McFarland, in your lawsuit against him, I'm sorry, but I don't see this as a debt situation. I see it as a life lesson, and I wish you all the luck in the world. And Mr. Moody, you have zero evidence on your counterclaim. Good luck, folks.
So in these competing lawsuits, nobody wins anything. Mr. Moody, I got to ask you a question. The plaintiff rather, just told you she was pregnant and obviously indicating you're the father, and you're kind of laughing it off like a joke. How can you do that?
Man, she lying. She lying. That's all she do. Like, she crazy. She cuckoo.
You're convinced she's lying. I want to go to Ms. McFarland and ask her, obviously, you admit this was a pretty stupid mistake to get involved with him. Tell me more about it. What are you going to do now? How do you feel about yourself?
I feel good about myself because I know I'm a good person, and I may not ever get the money back that I let him borrow, but I'll get it back in the long run.
He thinks you're lying about being pregnant, but you're not lying, are you? It's true.
No, I have no reason to lie. I don't wish to be pregnant by him. He's not someone that I want to be pregnant by, but I am pregnant by him, and I'm going to have my child. I'm not going to do, the baby didn't do anything. It's a blessing.
Well, we wish you luck. Very good. Thank you very much. Sorry you didn't win your lawsuit. All right, let's see what the judges have to say. Here's another session of After the Verdict.
The defendant in this case came out initially and said, I didn't want any money. I don't know, she just kept giving me money and giving me money.
Yeah, they always say that.
But then when you pried a little deeper and you started going through the text messages one by one, it wasn't, hey, don't give me the dirty money. Please, I don't want that dirty money. It was,
give me 100.
Give me 100.
Give me another 100.
60. I need 15. Send it now, etc. So he was kind of demanding the money. And at the end of the day, you found that it really wasn't a loan. I think I might have found differently.
What do you think?
I thought that it was a fair argument on her behalf that the money was loaned and intended to be paid back.
You don't think she was buying him?
Perhaps.
A little of both?
Perhaps. Well, she got something.
Yeah, she got something for it. I'm not sure it's what she bargained for, or maybe, because, you know, if you're playing Russian roulette,
right,
you might get hurt.
Do you think she really is pregnant with his baby?
No, not even a little bit.
No,
I don't. I just, only because, you know, there are, time will tell. That's all there is to it. But, you know, in the text, which you really get a flavor of people when they're texting each other in the middle of the night.
Right.
And, you know, they don't expect that a judge is going to be reading it. That's why we always tell our girls, say it, forget it, write it, regret it. But, you know, there was that kind of threat, and if I'm pregnant, had come up. And it's a certain kind of somebody who brings up pregnancies. It's like the last blow that you can give to someone who is hurting, who you perceive as hurting you.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an emotional
stab
in a way.
Yeah.
So Stacy wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, I sued someone in small claims court and won, but I can't collect. How am I supposed to get my money and garnish wages if I don't have their social security number? Well, here's the deal. You can go into court for what they call an examination of judgment debtor. And that means under oath, they have to tell you where their bank accounts are, social security, all that stuff, so that you can attach wages, garnish wages, go into bank accounts, and get what is due. That will do it for this case. Litigants are inside the courtroom for the next case.